Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? Hope you're having an amazing, beautiful day today. I wanted to jump on here to talk to you guys about a story. And this story was from when I was in Houston, Texas. And this is about the time I ate 6,000 calories in one sitting 1 week before my last bodybuilding competition of the year. And so, reference, or I guess like a little side note. You guys, the last week of any kind of prep for bikini, physique, bodybuilding is the most crucial. I always say the last 2 weeks are, because it's like the week leading up to the week, 1 week out. But anyways, that's just like for a reference. It's like the most important because it's peak week. You prime your body like this whole entire time throughout prep to then get ready that 1 week to make sure that your body fills out the way that it needs to, so your muscles can be shown on stage so they look full after depleting yourself for so long. It's something that needs to happen. It gives you time to like pull water from underneath your skin to make you look more dry, vascular, lean, so then when you're on stage you can present your physique at its best. Anyhow guys, so throughout last year guys, I competed in 3 competitions in October upwards to November, and my first 2 shows I lost, and it's my first time ever like losing a show, which I needed, by the way. Definitely needed that, because I believe that champions don't just win, they need to have some losses to learn from. And so that being said, after my first 2 shows, my second one was in Houston, Texas, and it was called Summer Shredding. And this was an awesome show. I was in Houston, I was vibing out, hanging with people, and just training. And you know, during the whole entire time, I struggled with binge eating. Like, I would have scheduled refeed days with my coach, and let's just say they were like 400 grams of carbs for the refeed day. I would end up eating 700 or 800, upwards of 1,000 grams of carbs, because I was just so hungry. And I was also, like, the main thing, I was going through like a lot of stress and a lot of life stress, and you know, with the shows and everything else, you know, losing the shows, I felt like I disappointed people. I felt like a loser. I felt like I was a horrible coach for not being able to show up at my best because I was binge eating, and all this shit was adding up. And anyhow, so that was happening like for the first couple of shows, and I was in Houston, Texas. Now, about 4 weeks away from my last competition, I was ready to go hard. I was like, okay, I'm done binge eating. I'm done, you know, eating a lot of food. I'm gonna make sure I'm on top of my game. And I like made a solid commitment to myself. And you guys know when I make commitments, I stick to my fucking word. Like, you guys, I quit vaping I have the sticky note. I've been vaping since I was vaping since I was like in grade 9, all right? Like, nicotine, because I used to love nicotine. September 20th, 2021, I quit vaping forever. I will be an advocate for my health. I still have not vaped since, and I will never vape again in my entire life. And does it still tempt me to this day? Yeah, it does. It's literally like smoking. Like, it's still nicotine by the end of the day. It's an addiction. You can become addicted to it. So, but I still have it. So when I like say I'm gonna do something, I fucking do it. I stick to my word, you know what I mean? And that's how you see a lot of success in your life. And so anyhow, I told myself I wasn't going to. I was like, I commit. I'm gonna go all in. And so I was like, okay, I'm ready. So I just, you know, I didn't have my coach at that point. I was coaching myself to my last show, just so you guys know. So I wasn't working with a coach at the time. I was just coaching with myself, And so during like those last 4 weeks, every week I binge ate. Every single week. And then so that second last week, I was like, okay, this is it, I'm done. And then 1 week came around, and then there was one night I specifically remember, I had a solid week of training, and I was like, Kate, you know what? I stuck to my word. I was, you know, eating clean. I was eating good. I'm just gonna go to bed. We were like, you know, we're 1 week out, and then guess what, y'all? I was in bed, and my stomach was just screaming. My mind was like, you know, gravitating towards the fridge, and so I crept down the stairs in the Airbnb, and I saw this slow cooked pork roast from the Airbnb owners, and I'm so sorry to you guys if you guys are watching this right now. And I literally open up the crock pot, and I was like, mindlessly, like, I would never do this because I don't steal food. I don't like to take other people's food, especially if it's not mine. I found it disrespectful, and so I'm so sorry guys if you're watching this. And so I opened up the crock pot, and I was like reaching in, and I was just like eating the food, and I didn't eat a lot of it, but I still like, you know, took a bite, and then I realized what I was doing, and I closed it. And then I went into the fridge, and I'm like, you guys, I made like 3 bowls of oatmeal with like raisins in it, almonds, almonds from like my from a roommate who was with me at the time. She left her almonds there, and then I like, you know, I put peanut butter in it. I had like 4 bananas mushed up and like in the separate bowls of oatmeal. I had like 3 full bowls of oatmeal with like 2 cups of oatmeal in each. And then I had 6 chicken breasts and like just a bunch of food, guys, and like mini chocolates. Anyhow, I got to the point where I was like overstuffed, overfull. It was ridiculous. And then I drove to the 7-Eleven and picked up an ice cream, came back, ate it, went to bed feeling guilty. With also, I had a Lenny's and Layers cookies with it, and that was it. And so the day after, I was like, okay, you know what? This is it. I'm gonna give myself one hoorah to like get it out of my system a week before I go extremely hard. You know, in my head I was like, I've rebounded so fast from the other times that I binge ate, which, you know, in reality I didn't like rebound as well as I thought I did, but in my head it's just kind of where I was at. I was like I was like negotiating with myself and like making excuses and everything. Anyways, it's like where my mindset was at, guys. My mental health was so low at this point. It was ridiculous. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give myself one hoorah. And then I drove to Shipley's Donuts, got pizza, got ice cream, got candy, went back to my place, laid in my bed, put on a movie. I was watching Resident Evil, Raccoon City, and I just went to town and ate as much pizza and ice cream and everything that I could, like at least 6,000 calories, guys, of food. I spent so much money on food down there. It was ridiculous. And that was it, guys. That was it. I also drove to like a food truck and like got a burger. Like a lot like went down. It was crazy. And so the next day, I think it was like the next day or like that same day, I had a breakdown, guys. I was freaking out. I gained a lot of weight back. I was watery, and I was like, I thought I ruined prep. I thought I destroyed everything that I worked for. So think about it like this, guys. You know, you're in a bodybuilding prep is long, but you're like near the end of your prep, and you've worked your ass off for all of these shows, and like you know your first show you thought you brought your best, and then like some shit happened in between, and then you picked your shit back up, and then you know you feel like you brought your best for your second show, and then some shit went down again, and then as in like my eating, and then like you try to pick yourself back up. But anyways, at that point I was like so discouraged. I felt like I had nothing left. I felt like a failure. I felt like a disappointment. I felt like, you know, because of my actions, it made me a horrible coach. Because, you know, like what kind of coach can go through these, you know, binge eating sessions and everything. Yeah, it just made me feel like shit. And so, broke down, called my dad. Usually I like call my dad in times like this. At times like that, and I was like, Dad, like I just binge ate again, and like I can't do this anymore. Like I don't know, I fucked up prep. I fucked up prep. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm wasting my time, wasting my money out here. I'm doing it, and I was freaking out, guys, freaking out. Felt like it felt like the walls were closing in on me. Like I had nothing left. Like it sucked. It was ass. I was going through a lot personally too. You gave me some fatherly advice and gave me hope, which is what I needed. And it helped push me forward and helped me realize that there's always going to be a new day to, you know, pick up where you left at and just bring your best. And that's really all I can do at that point. And so, guys, I just wanted to share this story with you because, and just, okay, a little bit of like, so after that, I decided to like, okay, you know what? I'm going to like, you know, put in as much work as I possibly could. And what I did is I ended up, which you should never do, by the way, this is not how you go about prepping at all, guys. This is like the opposite of what you should do. And this is also the opposite of what I take all of my clients through. What I take all of my clients through, this is like in brackets, is completely different. And it's very structured, scientifical, and it's like very one-on-one, and like very, like they're very well informed before anything happens. And so this is like not what you should do, by the way. This is just like me being a hard ass on myself when I should have, you know, threw in the towel a long time ago, but I wanted to finish the job. And this is kind of like the soldier story. I don't know what you call it, but anyhow, I bumped up cardio to 3 sessions for 60 minutes a day, plus my workout, plus posing 2 times to 3 times a day. I felt like David Goggins, you know, in his story, losing like over 100 pounds before he went and competed in the Marines, and I just went psycho mode. I was, you know, putting everything that I possibly could in. That's the hardest I've ever worked my body. My gut has not been the same since, and guess what? The day before my show, I binge ate again. And so, you guys, that's the whole story with what happened during prep last year, especially when I ate, that's the last 6,000 calories and everything else that happened. But it's just, I'm here to tell you that if you're going through anything, like your own struggle, your own adversity, you guys just know that it's something that you're going to learn from in the future. A lot of us who are going through something personally, we really just base our whole, like, we just think that it's going to be it's going to be like this for the rest of our lives, but it's really not. And I look at that time, like, if I was asked the question, like, would I go back and change this? Like, would I ever change that from happening? No. I look at it as a blessing. Like, I'm so blessed that happened. Of course I wanted it to be different, but like, I wouldn't have come out with the battle and the knowledge and the inner battle that I went through. Like, I remember being on the Stairmaster for like 60 minutes, 3 times a day, listening to Tony Robbins. Like, that's all I was doing. And so, yeah, I've never worked that hard in my entire life. It showed me what I was capable of, and it was a blessing to understand how serious binge eating is and truly what a disorder feels like, because that's exactly what I experienced. And yeah, you just can't really take that away. But it's something that I learned from, right? And it's something that I'm here to share with you, to teach you, and to, hopefully you take something away from this. So, just know that whatever adversity you're going through right now, don't be so hard on yourself. There's always going to be a new day to become better and learn from it. And that's all we can focus on in life, guys, because if you just dwell on what you wish did happen or could have happened or what you could have changed, it's not going to make you any happier. And in this life, we're trying to become happier. If you guys got value from this YouTube video, I want you guys to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, show some love if you guys got some insight from this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you guys have any crazy stories of your own, I would love to hear them. Drop them in the comments below. I'm really open to sharing my story on this channel with you guys, and I forever will. So yeah, just so you know what you're gonna expect. Much love, and peace out, family.